Yo, what's good, everybody? I'ma bring you a special vlog. I'ma go to a radio station which is 103.5 The Beat. I entered this thing so I can weigh my way in, and for some reason, all of a sudden, I got this email that says that I won. Please reserve your spot. And it's actually behind the beach with Tory Lanez, and one was behind the beach with Kid Cudi. So I might be meeting them. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what it's about. Maybe it's just seeing their interview or whatnot. But I'm check back with you guys right when I get to the studio.
Y'all are real fans, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because even when I saw the time of this one, I was like, what the fuck? Like, all right. We're gonna make it do what it do. But I'm glad to see y'all here. Thank you so much for being here at iHeart 103.5 The Beat at Southwest Sound Stage. We do give an opportunity to ask a few questions after I initially kick it off. With Tory, we're gonna give an opportunity for you to put your hands up and ask him a few things. So just have your thoughts ready. Don't be nervous or shy. This is a really exclusive opportunity for you to be in the room. My brother.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Was that a legitimate cough on that song? Like, you legit coughed before you did that?
Yeah, I was sick during this whole tape.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't sick, but I was just like, I had a bad cough. I was getting over like some weather, something like that.
And you still make amazing music regardless.
No,
Tory Lanez is here. Now, off the rip, you know, I do these kind of unorthodox interviews. So I was talking to my show producer, Annie, and she's like an encyclopedia of everything.
Yeah.
A little bit better lyricist, but that's it. So when I look at you and I look at most Caribbean-based artists, I look at great performers, you know what I mean? All around. How do you define the statements that you make when you tell people I'm the greatest and you take on challenges and stuff like that?
I mean, I was just talking to one of my dogs about this today. I ain't battling no one of these dudes no more. Cause my whole thing is just like, first of all, I'm too big for half of the situations. I be like, you know what I'm saying? Unless it counts, I'm not putting. I don't need to do that. I think it's a proven thing now. There's time and time again where they say things to me and they like, yo, you know, I feel like this guy's better than you. Then this guy steps up to the plate and then I kill this guy. And then they say, well, you can't beat this guy. Then this guy steps up to the plate, kill this guy. But then it's like, one day I'll give you my props. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to kill 1,000 of these little niggas for what? Like,
No.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, it kind of comes to a pointless place for me now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't need to do that. And I feel like, you know, the thing about, you know, me saying I'm the greatest artist alive or I'm the greatest rapper alive, I know it's in me. And at the end of the day, I don't ever preach limitations to anybody watching me. Like, if there's a young kid that's watching me grow up and he don't really feel 100% about his craft, but he see me just like, yo, I'm the best. And he see 1,000 people in the world doubting me just like they doubting him. And I'm just like, I don't care what y'all saying, I'm the best. Bring somebody up. Let me show you why. He'll see that and he'll be like, yo, you know what? Maybe I could do the same thing. Because somewhere in this guy's mind, he doesn't think that there's a limitation there. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, yeah, I'm second place nigga. Yeah. Nah, no, I'm not a second place nigga. If I'm gonna do anything in this world, I'm gonna do it to the fullest. Like, if I'm gonna walk down the street, I wanna be the best man walking down that street. You know what I'm saying? I'm a king. Everybody who I feel like every single person sitting in this audience is a king or a queen right now. And at the end of the day, it's whether or not you choose to, you know, to come to that level of thinking and realizing of who you are and realizing your potential. But at the end of the day, some of us reach that and some of us don't. I just happen to be one of the people who reached it. And the thing about it is there's a lot of people who reach it and they get into the world, and the world's such a nasty place that it's like you say things that are so crazy and the world just bashes you. So it's like they don't want to say that. But it takes people like me in order to say like, yo, listen, I'm the best, to make somebody else feel like, no, you're not the best.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my skills to the table because you're not the best, I'm the best. Then they feel like they the best. My dad, my mom, and like pretty much all my siblings, I'm the youngest of 6 kids. You know, I lived out here, I went from like, I think it was like I skipped 2nd grade, but 3rd grade up to, I failed 6th grade though. So I did 6th grade twice, so technically 3rd grade to like 7th grade, but I skipped 7th grade though. So it was okay, it all worked out. And but yeah, so probably like around like 4 or 5 years I was here. My mom died out here in Myanmar. She died in Sunset Lakes, that's where we live. And you know, that was it was, you know, it was a time that I shared a lot, you know, with this place. So
You did.
that's why I came back here to live.
Yeah, and I love that about you, and I remember when you were here, and creating your legacy here as well.
Yeah.
You also used to be a battle rapper too, as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started out rapping before I started singing. You know, and I love singing. I love music. I love everything melodic and, you know, everything that has a melodic value to it. But I started rapping first, so you know, that's also where the competitive piece of me is. It's like, you know, I'm a Leo, so everything about me has always been like a, you know, I thrive off of progressing. You know, like when I'm progressing and I do something good, it makes me feel like, oh, I could do that better if I just, you know,
like you're the lion in the game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And because of that, you know, there's times where, you know, I believe different attributes about myself, or I believe in, you know, certain things for me as far as like the way that I move and the way that I should be.
Yeah.
You know, but that's where a lot of that competitive energy comes from. I feel like when people like tell me something like I can't do or something, or like when people are like, no, you're not this, or like, nah, you can't be that. It's like a fuel that's like, nah, I can do that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can do that. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, if I put all my strength into doing that, then I'm gonna be great at that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna put all my strength into doing that. You know, and there's tons of times that, you know, people have doubted me in my career. Like, you know, Tory, you can't. There was a time when they told me I couldn't sing. I couldn't make R&B records. Now they tell me you know, oh, he's the R&B guy, and then I come and I flame a rapper, and then, you know, and then it's this, that, and third. But you know what I'm saying? It's all kinds of proving myself. My whole career has always felt like, you know, I've had to prove myself. But like now, I'm just at a place where it's like things here. I'm not bad at rapping or rapping against anybody who's like not worth it. No, I don't mean J. Cole's not worth it. I'm talking about like just me, like just battle rapping any and everybody. And that's the thing. I think that there's also a misconception of how things are actually delivered. Just because I say I want to go head to head with this guy doesn't mean that I want to go battle him. We can get on the same song, talk about whatever it is, and actually spit, and bar for bar we can decide who has a better verse or flow for flow or whatever the case is. Not everything has to be done in a way that's me against you. We can do it and still make the money, and we can also do it and still do it for the side of competition and for the love of the art. Period.
Gotcha.
You know?
That's what's up. All right, next.
Hi, Tory.
How you doing?
Better now. So I have a two-part question. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so your Love Me Now mixtape, I love. Is it an album or a mixtape?
It's an album.
Okay, I love the album. I love the song Why Don't You Love Me? That is my top favorite right now. So my first question is, what inspires you in your creativity in music? Like, what type of vibes do you have to get into to write a type of song like that, or be on those types of vibes, like your love mixes?
I just smoke weed. I'm just playing.
I know that, but what else?
I'm just joking. But for real, nothing. It just really just depends. Just the beat. It's just really what the beat gives me, and like the music that I'm listening to. you know, and clearly, like, you know, everyday life is just stuff that I go through. If I feel like I'm going through this, I'm gonna talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very blunt with my creativity. I'm very, I'm not like, you know, scared to be myself or like overly masculine or whatever. Like, I could be vulnerable if I feel like being vulnerable on a record, or everything could be done and expressed through music, you know?
Word. And my next question was, damn, I kind of left my
I thought you wrote it down.
I did, but it was a different question as he was speaking that came to my head. Let me go to my second part though. You have a couple tracks with some reggaeton artists. How did you get into that?
Honestly, I was living out here, bro. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know, living out here. One day I was in, the first reason why I even wanted to do like Latin music in the first place was because one day I was in Story, and I remember I was hosting it, and I remember sitting there, and you know, I'm chilling, whatever the case is, and it was all kinds of people there. It wasn't just Spanish people. It was all kinds of people there, and I remember hearing this one song from Ozuna. I think it was a remix. I don't know exactly what it was. Still to this day, I don't even know the lyrics. I'm not super fluent, you know what I'm saying? But I remember the melody was like, no, it wasn't that one. It was the one with
Romeo's.
I think it was one of them. I don't know. I could be.
I need help here.
I could be wrong. I don't know. But anyways, I heard the song in the club and I was like, yo, this, dude, everybody, like, it was like, yo, everybody knew the song somehow.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a thing. And I was like, yo, how white girls, black girls, Spanish girls, everybody rocking. And it was a vibe that just was unmatched, you know, for the rest of the night. So for me, I looked at that and I was like, yo, I gotta, you know, if I'm gonna be because one day I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world one day, and I truly believe that.
Amen.
But if I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world one day, I feel like I gotta, you know, I gotta be able to be versatile and to be able to kind of talk to everybody in every language, be as bilingual as possible. You know, when I'm done with, and I'm not saying like done, but when I fully like conquer like all of the Spanish like music that I want to do, you know, I'm gonna go out and learn French, I'm gonna learn Creole, I'm gonna learn everything. I'm gonna put music out and everything. I'm gonna be like one of the most, they're gonna look at me and be like, yo, this guy he just took it to too many levels. Like, he's just too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's very smart of you because that opens doors to fans who don't even know you, you know?
indeed. Y'all gotta hire her for the station. She got a good voice.
I be trying to tell
You know what I'm
them.
saying?
I be trying to tell them. But last question, I remember what it was. Can you think of a song that because I know a lot of artists, sometimes they've written songs in the past and then finally they blow. Is there a song that you could think of that you've written years ago that recently blew up?
Nah, but there's a lot of songs that should have blown up.
Never too late.
Nah, definitely. I think one song that definitely should have blew up was this song I did called TLC on the Chicks Tape 2. I think it was, on the Chicks Tape 2. That song should definitely blow up, for sure.
Alright.
Thank you.
No problem.
I think I know the song.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Alright. So you say you remember a time where you was
You slammed up. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Dominique.
Alright, where you from?
Miami, Florida.
Alright.
You said that you remember a time when you was an artist and nobody really wanted to work with you. It's kind of like you had to learn to do everything on your own. Well, myself, I'm an artist as well, and I feel the same way. You know, I play instruments. You know, I learned my own engineering and everything like that. So, I just have like basically, do you think you're the type of person now to where you're able to see talent in other people and maybe try to help or something, knowing that you was in that position?
Of course. I definitely, I started, you know, our whole situation that we got going on with One Umbrella pretty much, and we are looking for artists, you feel me? But it's definitely, we're not like a label that we don't just sign every and anybody. Not to say that, you know, you don't got a chance or something. I like your look, it's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're type of people where I look for like things that are very unique in people, you know, especially artists these days, because, you know, it's one thing to be able to get in there and sound a certain way in the studio, you know, but it's another thing to emulate that outside of the studio, and also, you know, it's also about a package. It's some people, you know, they look a certain way, but they're not really that, and they're not really comfortable. A lot of acting stuff, you know, a lot of TV stuff as well, you know, and definitely, for me personally, a lot of new music and content. Like, it's just a lot of content. Like, I got the blog that I have. I do this blog called the PSA. It's like pretty much it's like my life filmed like it's filmed like a movie, but it's like a blog. You know what I'm saying? So like the way it's filmed, it feels like you're going through these experiences with me, but it's really like a blog. I got the whole series. It's about to come out now, and I'm working on a lot, like I said, a lot of film stuff and a lot of TV stuff. You know, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but more than anything, the music is just insane this year. Like, I'm stocked up. I was stocking up at the end of all last year. I'm stocked up.
Do you think you outdid yourself?
Last year can't even look at this year. Can't even look in this year's direction. Can't even, everything that I've done previous to the music that I'm making right now, it can't look this way.
Alright, so we just wrapped things up with Tory Lanez. The interview was actually awesome. I actually took a picture with him that was right side by side. Handshake. Right now they're gonna be serving us some little lunch or dinner. And right now, after that, we can, like in an hour or two, I'm not too sure how long. I think Kiddick is gonna show up and they can do an interview with him. So I'm gonna check back inside with you when I'm inside the station, and we'll see what's next.
Don't order when they talking about all these gossiping. Yeah, my name in their mouth.
Round 2, let's get it.
To have this opportunity is very intimate. If you have any questions, please put it in your phone, think about it, absorb it, because you'll get an opportunity to ask a question. Again, this is a very exclusive event with Kiddick, and we appreciate you taking the time in the middle of the fucking day. If you don't have a job when you leave here, we totally understand, or we're not hiring, but we're glad to have you here, all right? Make some noise for Kid! That's what's up. I haven't seen you in forever, man.
It's been a minute, man. It's
Literally
been a cool 15 minutes, I think.
That's what's up. Kiddick, man, I was saying to you upstairs when we were interviewing that you have this kind of like knack for creating songs that translate so well on the radio and in the club at the same speed. Yeah. And how are you able to make that kind of connection then?
Oh, well, like I was saying to you earlier, it's like, I mean, I got an ear personally where I feel like I could do certain records and separate them and be like, yo, this sounds like it's for a mixtape or a freestyle, and this sounds like it's for an album, and this sounds like a single. But the biggest way I play like the singles, like I was telling you, is just feeding off the energy in the room. So like, you know, I don't expect everybody to go crazy when I play an album record or something slow or something specifically for, you know, the ladies or something like that. But as far as when I make a single, or you know, I felt like Weezy definitely, he needed a record for the ladies out too. He been spitting, you know what I'm saying, and going in. And, you know, the hip hop heads is rocking with it, but he needed to get back into the Pussy Monster vibe. You know?
Got you, for sure. So, being born and raised in LA, you've seen a lot there in the music game. How does it feel to see LA kind of like pretty much be on top musically? You know, watching you know, the K-Dots and others in the game, you know, do their thing, yourself included.
Yeah.
What's the vibe like? And even Blueface?
Yeah, Blueface.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like probably the biggest song in the country right now with that Tatiana. So how does that feel? Like, what's the vibe in LA right now musically?
The vibe in LA musically, I mean, it's always been there, and I think the biggest thing is like, you know, everyone in LA is self-sufficient too. Everybody got their own studio, everybody got their own producers, and it's definitely a big city with a lot of music. And right now, everyone's moving out there. So
yeah.
It's one of those things too, where being from the city is dope for me, because since, you know what I'm saying, whether people need hookups, different things, I could be that guy, and then it's easy for me to grab features and link up with people without having to travel all around the world because everybody come to LA. Only thing is now it's all the studios is booked.
Yeah.
All the tables is booked.
And y'all got a lot of good restaurants out there too.
Yeah, oh man, eating is amazing out there.
Yeah, it is.
Except for it's definitely one of those super health, vegan, conscious type cities now.
My kind of place.
Juices and all that stuff. But yeah, man, LA has always been, you know, and there's one thing I get that I know about a lot of artists from LA, they have a lot of beats. And I used to, you know, look up to different producers like Pharrell and Timberland or like Swiss Beats, where it was like artists who could do hip hop, do pop, do all kind of different genres, and was making, you know what I'm saying, songs for Jay-Z and making songs for Beyonce. And that's kind of like how I went into producing, so I always made all kind of different type of beats. I would sample and listen to all kind of different music, and I think it just opened my ear to understanding other different genres more so than some hip hop artists who, you know, only listen to hip hop or only, you know what I'm saying, are feeding off of hip hop legends or different things like that and don't listen to, you know, country or R&B or classical or different situations. Like I learned how to play the piano when I was younger. I know just my ear, I think, is just a little different. So when it comes to doing melodies on different records, I'm not really in a box of just trying to spit and freestyle. I kind of try to be the instrument on the song.
That's dope. You got range.
What's good, Kid? What up?
All right, my question for you is like, there are a lot of superstar artists, and you are consistently on the charts more than like some artists that would be considered bigger than you. It's like, how do you do that? It's like a formula, or?
I mean, I think, you know, it's one of those things that's like a gift and a curse where I always tried to let the music speak for itself. So, you know, everything was always about the music and never really always about the hype or about the clout. But at the same time, you still gotta, you know, be about the hype and the clout to, you know, sometimes get just people paying attention. And then you can still go on from music. Some people had a problem with just getting the clout and then they don't have nothing else afterwards to carry up with it. But, you know, I never wanted to be a gimmick. So, you know, it's definitely dope to be able to make music and it chart just based off the music. And it just lets me know if anything ever, you know what I'm saying, if I did have any extra clout and hype, it would just make it even better. So, yeah.
It seems, just to piggyback over.
All right. Hi, I'm Bless the Kid. So, kind of piggybacking both off of you two, with those reasons, what drives you to keep moving?
What drives me to keep moving? I mean, for me personally, music has always been a passion, whether I was making money from it or not. It was one of those things that was just second nature and was just a part of my family, I think. And, you know, besides that, fans keep me motivated more than anything. I'm definitely conscious with everything everybody's saying in the comments and just, you know, keeping up with people, or whether it be them telling me. The biggest motivation for me is when I get to meet people and they tell me how records got them through certain situations. Because it's like, that never gets old, that feeling of wanting to, you know what I'm saying, help or motivate somebody else with your records. It's like, you know, oh, this got me through jail time, or this got me through somebody passing, or this got me through school. It's those kind of different things motivate you and make you want to go back to the booth and speak to those people again, so, or speak to new people like that again, so you could just feel like, you know, you pushing everything forward.
Thank you.
Hey, Kenneth, what's up?
Hey.
My name is China. My question is the following. Is there anything else besides music that you want to venture into, like clothing or, you know, or movies?
Right now, as far as clothing, like we have the clothing with the merch and the alumni and our team, but I definitely want to get a little bit more into the high fashion side and, you know, do some clothes. I think I'm just trying to figure out what lane I want to take and what I want to drop first, or what I want, you know what I'm saying, to be with my brand, like whether it be like, oh, they known for these jackets or for these, you know what I'm saying, pieces. I'm trying to just figure out what my lane is as far as that. And it's different ventures, you know, want to get into film as much as I can with all the tattoos. I definitely want to start, I was telling him earlier, I got into drift racing. So I got some people, you know what I'm saying, just training me to actually, you know what I'm saying, join a real race team and drift race on the side, because they have like seasons where they do that, and they don't last that long. It'd be like a couple weeks.
I have the perfect scenario. With Fast and Furious, you'll be in the film and you get to drift.
Hey, double time. We already worked together to tell them about to hit them with double time. But nah, I think that would be dope. I'm somebody in the extreme sports, and like, yeah, I just went snowboard for the first time. I busted my ass though, but it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, a lot of other things that I'll get into.
What's up, King?
Yeah.
My question is, in the hip hop industry, how long does it take for you to get noticeable, like to be up there?
I think everybody's situation is different. I think it's all about timing, you know, and just waiting for your time. And I've seen people have a time, lose it, get it back. I mean, this last year was the craziest time for comebacks as far as artists who probably people never thought was coming back. And I think, you know, I've seen, because it's even artists like, let's say 2 Chainz. I feel like, you know, 2 Chainz had a moment earlier when he was with Player Circle, and then the moment slowed down. He could have been the type of person to quit and not wait or feel like his moment was over. Waited out, kept working, and then that moment got even bigger and better than it was before, and probably something that he never would even dreamed of. And it's kind of, I've seen it happen firsthand with myself and other people around me, just timing. It's just it'll just come, it'll happen. Somebody will hear the record eventually, or somebody will see the video and it'll just take it to another person and take it to another person. That's just always how I've thought about the process. Never really forcing it, just doing my job and waiting for the timing, and everything kind of just came naturally, you know?
That's what's up.
Alright guys, this was a wrap for the day. And I'm actually very proud to be back into this event, which is kind of like a one-time opportunity. Shout out to 1035 The Beat, shout out to Kid Inc, and shout out to Tory Lanez. It was a real honor to meet them. But hopefully we have another opportunity like this to be a part of that exclusive interview. So if you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you to the next one. Peace.